Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about messaging. So, I'm going to tag all of you guys. Okay, so messaging. This is extremely important. Once you have the time in the future or the money and the resources and the unlimited clients, then cool, you don't have to do DMing. But even high-level marketers and high-level coaches that are making millions of dollars, Katrina Ruth, Amanda Francis, Katrina Ruth says she responds to her DMs. She still responds, her. So just know that while you're building your business at the beginning, you gotta do the DMing. You gotta build those relationships. Okay, so I'm going to go over how to create more powerful messaging and what to do and what not to do. So first of all, hands down, let's get in the vibe, okay? You get in the vibe of the DM. You get in the vibe of being that next level coach, okay? So you think to yourself, first of all, how can I get myself in a good high vibe energy before I start DMing a bunch of people? So maybe it's doing a dance party. Maybe it's like after you work out. It's after you had a great day. So go ahead and do that. Get in the vibe. And how can you make DMing more fun? I have some great tips. So I like to do not DMing in a big chunk, but I like to do it on my little bits of time. And I don't make it like, oh, I'm going to be on the DM for an hour or I have to keep continually responding. It's whenever I feel like doing it, I do it. Sometimes it's midnight and I'll do a bunch of them and then it's like, ooh, they'll get back to me in the morning. And if not, who cares? Stop making DMing a big deal, number one. Now, this is key component. How are you going to be that next level coach? What type of coach are you going to be? Embody that type of coach. Is it the coach that calls people out? Is it the coach that really helps people understand they have a need or a problem that they need to be fixing? Is it the type of coach that you already have clients and you're content in your life and you're happy and you're just out there DMing people to help them feel good about themselves or build relationships, blah, blah, blah. So right before you do the DM, be like, what type of coach do I want to portray? What type of coach am I going to embody? And so me, it's like owning my shit. It's like I have the knowledge. I have the marketing. I know how to help these people with sales. Now get in the DM and if I find the need, I'm going to ask some triggering questions sometimes. Okay? So also, who freaking cares if they don't respond? Who cares? There's so many people that don't respond. So many people that they didn't respond the first 3 messages. Maybe they're a week apart, a day apart, whatever, but then they respond later on and they buy. Or they join my course or they listen to my podcast, whatever it is. Later down the line, they respond. So who cares if they don't respond right away? Message them again. Almost all of my DMs, I was literally going back on some of your guys's that are in this mastermind and I was like, oh, let's see what worked. And some of them was just like, hey, I thought you might be interested in my group course. I'm doing a live stream on being sexy, confident, and unleashing the feminine power. And one of the ladies in the course was like, yes, please. Great. I sent the link. She didn't respond. She joined the group. Later down the line, I was like, hey, I just thought about you. And I was wondering, what are you doing right now to generate sales? Who's your target audience? And I asked some really clear questions that I'd ask on a discovery call. So, and they respond. Almost all of you guys answered my questions that were more specific to business and more coachy questions. So don't think that people don't. Just try and read the environment. Read if you've been seeing them, if they've been commenting on you, or if they're brand new cold lead and they just added you, be like, hey, how are you doing? Don't make it about you. Be like, oh, I noticed your blank. Look at their profile. When people add you on Facebook, go look at their profile. Be like, oh, something stands out. And then message them on that thing. So for me, I'm a coach and I coach coaches usually. So when I get friend requests and I add them, I'll go through and try and see like, ooh, this one's a coach. Hey, oh, and you're in California? Cool. Like, I want to connect to them. So I bring that up. Oh, it looks like you're nearby. Or I really like your content on dating and relationships. How long have you been a coach for dating and relationships? Oh, great. What got you into that? Okay, so keep asking those questions. You're that type of coach to ask these questions. And if they don't answer, who cares? Okay, so I was researching on a lot of the people that bought from me later on, and this is what I did. I asked those questions. Who's your target audience? What are you doing to attract sales? A lot of things that aren't any of my business. And I'm that type of coach, so I'm asking these types of questions. Let me see. So these are some like cold messaging. Like you haven't really seen them, you don't really know them, baby just added you. It's like, oh, what are you most passionate to talk about? And then kind of like think, what would make these conversations more fun to you? Like, how can you make this more casual, fun, relaxed? Okay? So I wrote a list for you guys, you ladies, that you can actually like get an idea on. What are you currently trying? What has worked for you? I'll add that right now. What are you currently trying, working on? Where are you struggling? Okay. Asking these questions is weird, to be like, hey, where are you struggling in business right now? I wouldn't always do that, but I did ask some of you ladies in this group, and you did answer, like point blank. You're like, oh, I've been in my coaching business for a while, but it's been really slow. Okay, now she gave me something to work on. I'm like, oh, okay, what area do you need help with most? And then try and think, go with the flow. Think of it as building relationships. Maybe it's a future podcast. Maybe it's a future live video. Like, whatever it is to get out of the frame and mindset of being sleazy and salesy, think of that when you're DMing. It's like, oh, maybe I just want to understand this person. And then have a goal, okay? So maybe it's jumping on a call. Maybe it's inviting them to your group. Maybe it's giving them a link to your freebie. So identify those needs and then deliver them to the next step. You can decipher which one you want to go to, but do something, okay? And what's next? Show value. So say you're talking and say you're helping with relationships or fitness, try and give them some value, like a takeaway. So maybe it's their coach and I'm looking at their profile and I'm like, oh, can I give you a tip on your profile? I like to give free analysis for coaching. So then they're like, yes, and I can give them some tips on their profile page. Or let's say you're a dating coach. She comes to you, you're talking, you're like, oh, okay, so what's been working with you in dating? Great first question. Second question, what's not been working for you? That way it's positive, then more negative, okay? So what's been working for you in coaching or sales? Great, bam. What hasn't been working? Oh, I gotta write this one down. This one's good. These will be like needs audit questions, I think. What has been working for you? What hasn't? And then something like, great. Is there any area in you could put life, business, whichever, I could help? Okay? Is there any area in your life or dating or coaching or whatever area your expertise is that I could help you with or that I could serve you? I like that. And then you could even be like collaborations. live videos. So sometimes I like to say something like this as not salesy, where I'm like, I have a ton of content that's free in my group. What area are you struggling with? And maybe I can give you a free training video. And then I will add them into my group. Bam, ding, 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 win. And then add them into the video, okay? Now, go with the flow, enjoy it. If things come up, talk about them, stories, ask them questions. It doesn't have to always just be like cut, dry, salesy. In fact, I found it the opposite. Be like, oh, I want to learn more about your business. And I have gotten on so many calls where I legit did want to learn more about their business. I was curious about it, but then like it led to me asking questions about their business. It led to me realizing they needed help, and then me doing a podcast down the line, and then me pitching them again and following up. And it wasn't their time in June, but I just got a sell last week that June, July, August, it's almost September, 2 months later, and she's actually joining this Break the Rules Mastermind. So don't always make it a need as in now. Make it as like building this relationship so I can follow up, understanding her needs so I can follow up when I solve that problem, okay? And I think I covered most of that. Okay, don't make it a big deal to get on calls. Assume the sale. Be the boss. Be the coach. Call them out a little bit. Give them some value. And embody that next level coach. And instead of being like, would you like to have a call? Ugh. I don't know. Probably not. Instead, be like, hey, I'd love to learn more about your business. Let's chat. What's your phone number? That's what I've been doing. That's been killing it. I don't think anyone's yet said no. So assume the sale, get the number, text them. This is a new trick. This is for my paid ladies only. Text them. Take it off the Facebook and get into their phone. How many people do you respond to on Facebook versus text message? Okay? And then take the text message and schedule a call. Okay? And get on a call and talk to them. And then you can get them on the Zoom or whatever. But make it easy. While we're building and growing, this is what you want to do. And as you get bigger, cool. You won't have to DM as much. Fabulous. You are growing a business from the ground up. You could make sales now, or you could build and pay for ads and get more clients, the slower way. Or you can DM people. Okay? So get out of your own way. And I have some journaling prompts. I'm so glad I didn't end this yet. Okay, journaling prompts. What fears or limiting beliefs or negative beliefs are coming up for DMing people? Write those out. I feel salesy. I don't like this. I don't enjoy this. You can't get sales through DMing. I don't know, whatever. Make a list, okay? And then look at it and why do you believe this? Make a list. Maybe it's because some people are annoying when they DM you. Maybe it's because of this. And then look at that and be like, oh, okay, this is where I got it. Cool. Now, how can you not be some of those things? How can you deliver a more powerful DM experience? Or why are those not true? And then rewrite those beliefs for DMing. So I love to DM people because I always build really great relationships. I do. I've gone on so many podcasts. I've developed so many great relationships. I've gotten lots of clients through DMing. I've had people thank me for getting on calls and then they buy later. Great, okay? So make 10 beliefs around DMing. I love DMing because it's fun. I love DMing because I make amazing, powerful relationships. I love DMing because I get amazing sales and amazing clients. Like, make DMing a positive experience. And then the next thing is, how can you make DMing more fun? I know I covered this on our Zoom call today, but I'm not even sure if I already brought it up. I personally like I do it from my bed. I do it from watching TV. I do it at the beach. I do it while in the car. So try to make DMing people more positive experience. Maybe it's jumping on the voice and being like, hey, how are you doing? Great. I like to do voice messaging because it's a little faster and then you get to know me better. How are you doing? You know what? And make it fun. Like maybe you have it on the go day. You can just follow up on the DM. I like to sometimes DM people at midnight because they can always follow up later, and that way I'm not constantly stuck on it, but I can like follow up or search people. Also, last thing. Also, I will always try and research. Say I'm having a good conversation, I'll go look at their page and be like, oh, what do they need help on? Do they need help on messaging? Do they even have call to actions? Do they do this? Do they do that? So with your business, what are the needs what are the pains that you solve? How can you help people? And then go try and like research them. Go like, comment, and talk about their stuff and be like, oh, I really loved that post that you made. How did you get into coaching? Or I really liked that message you had about human design. How long have you been a human design coach? Oh, great. Do you have clients? How long have you been doing this? What are you passionate about? Blah, 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 blah. Great. Would you like to be on my podcast? Like, do something. Always have something, a goal. Okay, I'm fired up. I'm going to probably just jump off of this and do another video. Okay, I hope this helped you, and I will give you access to my discovery call or my messaging right now. But I'm still editing it, so check it back later. Love you guys. Get on those 3 calls and go to the accountability and share your screenshots. Bye, guys.